Hi, thanks for looking in on my video. Have you seen the Channel 4 programme about Britain's criminal tagging scandal? They sent some undercover reporters into Serco and they found all sorts of, a real can of worms, all sorts of things going wrong. And I highly recommend having a look at this documentary if you haven't done so. But it kind of reveals that the electronic monitoring systems are in a bit of a mess, just like the rest of the criminal justice system. And I think urgent action needs to be taken, and it can be quite straightforward, really. So they sent these two undercover reporters into Serco, and bear in mind that Serco in 2013 were found to have defrauded the UK government £68 million, and they were made to pay a £19.2 million fine. And how somebody, that's committed such a great fraud is carrying on. And it would appear from this programme that the government and the Ministry of Justice are not monitoring the electronic services systems enough. And these reporters kind of revealed that the systems seem to be run on the cheap, they seem to be in chaos, that there's very poor training, simple things like addresses going down wrong, they're going a terrible computer system, that there's a huge backlog of untagged people, people bragging on social media on how to remove the tags, that the breaches are poorly and inconsistently enforced, and not all the breaches promptly dealt with by the police. So I think, to be honest with you, I think action can be done, and I think it's fairly straightforward, but I think UK government needs to carry out an urgent review of this country's monitoring systems. And what I recommend is that in phases, it be put back into the control of the government, that it be nationalised, and that it's not run by business companies. And I think, there's morality about this. And if you want to run such a system, I personally feel that it should be done on a not-for-profit basis. For me, it's a bit immoral. The other thing is, I think it would be much better managed under the police, really. And it might not sound such a ridiculous thing, because I well know I was involved in pilot schemes which were run by the police. So when they first had these ideas for tags, the pilots are run by the police. And I think, it could be civilian staff or PCSOs that run it, but under the auspices of the police. And it will make communication and finding out where somebody is much better if it's under the police. And if somebody's in breach, the police are aware immediately if it's under their control. It makes sense. And I would consider looking to going over, for those being released from prison, I think, first of all, people need to sign a contract that they're willing to cooperate with the tag and that they actually want it. Because if you don't want it and you're going to muck about and try and take it off or not abide by the conditions of it and keep the tag all charged up and all that kind of thing, it ain't going to work. So I think really we need to see commitment to the monitoring systems from the offenders from the outset, and it made very clear to them that they will be prosecuted and they will be punished if they don't cooperate once they've agreed that they will cooperate. I think those being released from prison, simple thing, instead of trying to go around people's addresses, I think the tag should be put on the offenders' ankles at the prison before they leave the prison, and it's fully charged up. And I would recommend that these be GPS tracking devices so that the police know where these offenders are at all times, instead of the other system, which is linked to setting off an alarm when somebody leaves home. But these, require the electronic monitoring services to go and fit the equipment in the person's house when they're in, and all this. And this is where it's been really, really going wrong by all accounts. So that's something really simple. And, I strongly advise that eventually the electronic monitoring services be nationalised. That it could be done in stages, that initially the police just deal with those coming out of prison. And I think that they could supervise these people on licence as well and have them reporting into the police station as well. And it wouldn't need a huge increase in staff, I don't think. And I think the police would do a better job of it. And if something goes wrong, the police will be in the know immediately. And they're less likely to make mistakes that these current companies are doing now. That's my view. So, one, go over to GPS tags. Two, let's go over to nationalising this in stages, the most high-risk offenders first, before all of them. And I would actually limit the number of tags. There's no point having loads of tags that are being inefficiently managed. I'd rather have less tags, but that are being well managed and that the public are protected by. Okay, so that's it. Anyway, I've put details of the dispatches program below, and do look out for my other videos, and I wish you all the very best. Have a happy day now. Bye-bye.